Hi guys, thank you guys so much for joining me for another at-home yoga class. This class is going to be specifically designed to help you work on any pain or stiffness you might be feeling in your back right now. We are all a little bit more sedentary than we probably normally are, and we might be doing a lot of repetitive movements or movements where we're sitting in a specific position for a long time. Or maybe you're doing a lot of yard work or house projects because you are at home more and your back is just feeling kind of extra tight. So today's class is going to focus on getting some length and loosening up the low back, and all basically through the fascia or the connective tissue that runs along the back line of your body all the way down underneath your feet. So we will need some props today for class again. I'm going to be using 2 blocks, potentially a strap at one point, and we're going to start off class with the bolster. So I'll give you a second. You can go ahead and pause the video if you need to run and grab any extra props. If you don't have a bolster, feel free to grab a couple bed pillows, maybe 2 to 3 bed pillows. So like not a couch pillow, but a bed pillow that's a little longer and rounder. And maybe stack 1 to 2 of those on top of each other, and that doubles as a really good bolster as well. So we'll be starting class off with that, so I'd encourage you to go grab that real quick. So once you've grabbed your prop, and you might, if you don't have blocks, you can use books or things just of this general shape and size as well. So first we're going to start by taking the bolster, laying it, or your pillows, laying them the long ways, sitting your hips right at the very ends of the bolster, and then laying back so your head is right at the top. If your pillows are a little shorter or you can't get your hips on, that's okay. You can it's more important to keep your head on the bolster or the pillows. So you can bring your hips further forward if you need, so more of your spine is on the bolster. And we'll just open up our arms here. I have both feet on the ground with the knees up. Both arms are out to the sides, so we're focusing on opening up through the chest wall here. So deep breaths into the belly, into the lungs. You want to feel that your breath is traveling up through the sides of the body, stretching out the muscles in between the ribs. And we'll keep the arms just open out to the side. So you can see, especially here from the side, whereas they might have typically been kind of more up here when we're sitting or when we're walking and we're not thinking about our posture. So really let the shoulder blades come together on your back. And we'll take a couple more deep breaths here. So big inhales through the nose and exhales out the mouth. Inhales through the nose, filling up your belly, spreading your lungs and ribs, lifting through the chest, and exhaling, releasing everything, allowing your shoulders to melt away from your ears. Take a couple more deep breaths here. We're going to stay here for a couple more seconds, just allowing the muscles to really relax, being in a nice opposite position than we normally are with our shoulders and chest kind of forward. So before we come off the bolster, we're going to take our elbows, bring them up to about the level of your shoulders, and then we'll just glide our arms out to like a Y shape. Then pull them down, bring your elbows in towards your sides on an exhale. So let's do 10 of those. Big inhale, reach your arms long and up, a Y shape. Exhale, elbows in towards your sides. Inhale, reach reach. Lengthen through the sides of your body. Exhale, elbows in towards your ribs. A couple more. Inhale, open and reach through your fingers. Exhale, pull your elbows in nice and close. 2 more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull it in. Good. Then we'll want to slide off the side of the bolster, come up, or your pillows, and you can just move that out of the way. Come back onto your back here. Place your feet on the ground with the knees up. Place your palms on top of your thighs. Press down through your feet and just lightly and lowly lift your hips away from the ground. So we're not doing like a normal bridge pose where our hands are down and our hips are really high. We're going to stay a little lower. Keep our hands here. Our hands are going to help us with some feedback of what's going on in our body. So you want to really press your hands into your thighs and your thighs up into your hands. And that's going to help you lengthen your glutes towards the back of your legs and the back of your knees. So your upper back and most of the portion of your ribs should be on the ground. So just that lumbar spine and the bones of the pelvis should be away from the earth. So we're pressing down through our feet, pressing our hands into our thighs and our thighs up into our hands and just lengthening through the spine there. Couple more deep breaths. Really feeling the glutes start to activate. It's going to take some pressure out of the low back. Sometimes we want, or our body will compensate in ways where our back muscles will do what our glutes should be doing. So we want to really let the back muscles relax here. So we should feel sensation from the rim of the back rim of the pelvis and down towards the knees. That's where we should be feeling the most burn and sensation there. So a couple more breaths. I know it's a lot. Keep pressing down into the feet. Breathing into your belly. Should feel a little tractioning of your spine as well when you push your hands and thighs together. Good. And then we'll lower all the way down. Take your hands out to the sides. Shift your weight and plunge one shoulder blade under your back at a time. So you're kind of pushing one shoulder blade under and then the other. So your chest is really open. Then we'll lift up. This time we'll lift a little higher. Just make sure you're feeling that same feeling as before, as when your back was a little lower. And then if you want, you can try to interlace your hands underneath you and then shimmy again. Get your arms a little closer together. Then push your knees towards the front of your mat and your chest towards the back of your mat, towards your head. So you're kind of reaching in opposite directions, really lengthening. Make sure you're kind of keeping some space in the neck so the chin isn't tucked in too far, but it's definitely not pushing up to the sky. You want to feel a nice in between where you have some length in the back of the neck. Hold it for one more breath. Make sure you're really feeling this in the booty. And then release your hands, move them out to the sides, and lower all the way down. Nice. Take your right foot on top of your left knee and open your right knee out to the side. Both hands on the ground. We're actually not going to take this into a stretch quite yet. First, we're going to do some one-legged bridges with our leg in this position. Okay? So press down through your left foot. Lift the hips up. It's okay if it doesn't go very high. And then lower and tap. So we'll do about 7 of those. So it was 1, up, down, tap. 2, 3, deep breaths. 4, if your knee is hurting, always walk your foot a little further forward. 5, 6, and 7. Then we'll lower the hip, and now we can bring the left knee in. However, I don't want you to use your hands today. So we'll just use the strength of our leg and bring our left knee in towards our chest. Keep both feet flexed. Really press the low back and the tailbone and pelvis into the ground. So you're just hinging from your hips. So you should feel a nice pull through the low back, the hips, and into the back of the legs where that's all connected. So we're not using the hands to over pull today. We're just going to use the strength of the legs. Because we're still warming up, so I don't want to get too comfortable. So keep that right knee out to the side. We'll take 2 more deep breaths. On your next exhale, start to bring your left foot and your left leg and your right foot over to the left. You can even bring this left heel to the ground and then start to relax to a little spinal twist with the legs in this position. So you should feel a big release of the right low back and right hip. Really keep that right shoulder on the ground. So you're just moving from like the bottom part of your rib cage and from there to your pelvis, more or less. Breathe deeply into your belly. Good, and then we'll come back to the center, place the left foot down, place the right foot down. Other side, left foot on top of the right knee. First, we're doing the bridges. Press down through your right foot, hands by your sides, palms face down, so you can help press through your hands as well. Press down through your right foot, lift up, press through that hip, give some little hip extension, and then lower and tap and lift back up. So 6 more. Down and up and press. 2, down, up, squeeze that glute. 3, up, 4, down, up, 5, down, and 6, last one, and 7. Squeeze it and come down. Inhale, bring your right knee in towards your chest. Keep your hands on the ground. Use the hinging of your hips, the flexing of your hips to bring that left leg in closer towards you. Press down through your low back, press down through your pelvis. Breathe into your belly. Keep the head and neck and shoulders nice and relaxed here. So try not to hold any tension in your neck or in your jaw. 1 more inhale. Exhale, bring the left foot over to the right. Once you get too far, you feel like you're going to tip, bring that right foot to the ground. Use it as a little kickstand. You can keep your gaze to the sky or gaze to the left. Good. Let your low back curl away from the ground. Bring your hands back by your sides on an exhale. Straighten your right leg out on the ground. Bring your left knee in towards you. Interlace your fingers on top of your left knee. Really press down and forward through that right leg as you pull the left knee in towards you. On an inhale, reach through the crown of your head nice and long and stretch the right leg forward. Exhale, curl your forehead towards your knee. Inhale down, reach through that bottom leg. Exhale, forehead to knee. Inhale down and reach, lengthen through the spine and the leg. Exhale, curl it in, curl your belly towards your spine. Bring your forehead towards your knee. 2 more. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Good. Other side. Straighten your left leg out. Bring your right knee in towards you. Interlace your fingers on top of your knee. Focus on this long leg first. Lengthen, so flex that left foot. Press forward through the left leg. Reach long through your spine. Exhale,
forehead towards the right knee. Inhale down, lengthen. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale down, nice and slow, be careful on the neck. Exhale, forehead to knee. So I'm not leading with my neck here. I'm using my core to round my back, and then I'm using the force of my hand on my knee to get a little higher. So don't lead with your head to get up. That's gonna strain the neck muscles. So we'll do one more. Exhale and come up. Good. Back onto belly. So we're gonna do a variation of locust pose. Traditionally, locust pose is where we have the legs up, some reprieve for the low back, hopefully. So this whole time we'll have our forehead on the mat. So you guys make sure you're resting like this. I might come up a little bit just so you can hear my voice a little bit better. The other thing is we will have our palms face down, reaching back by our sides here. So it'll look like this. The forehead is down, hands on the earth, and pull the shoulders onto the back. Okay, so I'm gonna talk from here so you can hear. Just keep pressing your palms down into the earth and forehead on the ground. Pulling the shoulder blades back. So first we'll lift just our right leg. So lift the right leg and just hold it. Push into the palms, pull the shoulder blades back, point through that right toe, squeeze the glute. Take 2 deep breaths. Good. Relax the right leg. So your forehead is still down on the ground, relaxing through the neck. Pull the shoulder blades back, press through the palms, lift the left leg. Point the toe, reach through the leg, nice and strong through the glute and the hamstring. Press the pubic bone into the earth so the low back is nice and long. Pull the shoulder blades onto the back. Breathe into the belly. Good. Relax. Now we'll do both legs. So press through the feet, press through the hands. Press the pubic bone into the earth so you're lengthening your low back. Lift both legs. Hold. Squeeze the muscles on the back body. Really reach through those toes. Pull the belly up and in to keep the spine, the low back nice and long. Hold it. One more breath. And relax. Good. All right. From this position, bring your hands under your shoulders. Push up into a half push-up. Bring your knees wide and your toes together. Press back into a child's pose. We're going to do a little flow through child's pose into cat, into cow, and then back to child's pose. And we want to feel that we're getting some fluidity through the spine. So if you need to watch the first time, feel free, and then join me when you're ready. So our exhale will be child's pose. Inhale, cat. So I just bring my spine up into an arch. Exhale, cow. So let my chest descend through my shoulders. Lift the tailbone. Knees are still wide as in a child's pose. Gaze slightly ahead. Inhale, arch it again into cat, but let that flow as you exhale into child's. So again, inhale to cat, round the spine, really press through the hands. Exhale, cow pose, making a U shape with the spine, pulling the shoulder blades onto the back. Inhale, arch, and press back as you exhale in child's pose. Inhale, arch, round the spine, chin to chest. Exhale, chest descent, shoulder blades together, gaze ahead, lift the tailbone. Inhale, arch, and round your hips back towards your heels. Exhale, child's pose. 2 more like that. Inhale, arch the back, chin to chest. Exhale, cow pose, shoulder blades together. Inhale, arch, round, flow your hips back towards your heels. Exhale. Inhale, round, forward, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, chest between the shoulders, shoulder blades together, round and arch here. Exhale, press the spine to the sky and the hips back to the heels, and exhale. Walk your hands over to the right, keep your hips where they're at, and just bring your forehead to the earth. So you're reaching through your right hand and left hand a lot. The hips stay where they are, and you're laterally flexing through the spine to allow for a stretch on that left side of the body. Center. Exhale, walk the hands over to the left. So really reach through that right hand. Press back. Hips stay nice and stable, just moving through the spine. Inhale, come back to the center and come up into a tabletop position. Just take note real quick, we already want to feel into if we're feeling a little bit more loose in the low back and the hips. Take a deep breath here. So just a neutral tabletop as our starting position. We're going to go from here and hit some different areas of the core and the back. First, reach your right arm forward. So we'll just take a couple deep breaths here first. Press down through your left hand, reach your right arm forward. Keep your chin and neck in line with the rest of your spine. Hold, pull the belly up and in. 2 more deep breaths. Good. Right hand down, left arm forward. Same thing. Press down through the right hand. Press up into that shoulder so you're not sinking down into your shoulder blade at all. Pull the belly up and in. Nice, stable core. Reach that left arm forward. Keep the neck and chin in line with the rest of the spine, so not dropping the head down here, keeping it in line. 1 more breath. Good. Left hand down. Straighten the right leg back, tuck the toes. Squeeze the right glute, lift the right heel up to the level of your right hip. Hold it. Same thing, pull the belly up and in. We're going to do a little different variation of this today. It's going to work on actively lengthening your TFL, which is this triangular muscle on the side of your hip. Externally rotate your leg, so point your toes out, heel in. So don't lift your hip to do that. Do it from the femur. Then bring it up a little bit more, and then over behind your left hip. You should feel some active lengthening on the side of the right hip there. Lots happening in the back of the leg, hamstring, glutes. So hopefully you're feeling lots of warmth down here as well now. Straighten that left leg back, tuck the toes. Press up through your heel, pull your belly up and in, so no sinking in the belly. Make sure the core is engaged. Press up through your heel. Then we'll do that same thing. Externally rotate from the femur. So hips don't move, just the femur bone moves. So toes out, heels in. It's not a huge movement. Lift up a little higher and back behind your right hip. Hold it. Press down through your hands. See, I was just sinking in my shoulders, so make sure you're pressing down into your hands and staying lifted in your shoulder blades.
back to the center, and down. Good. If you need to, take a little break off your hands for a moment. Roll out your wrists, and we'll come back into it. From here, walk your feet back just a little bit, your knees back just a tiny bit. Reach your right leg long, tuck the toes, heel in line with the hip. Reach your left arm forward, palm facing in. Hold it in from the joints. Exhale, elbow to knee. So you can see my back's not moving very much, so I'm not doing this. I want to keep the spine long this time. Gaze down, keep the head in line with the rest of the spine. 2 more. Exhale in, inhale long, exhale center. From here, try if you can, bring your foot in front of your left knee. So now we're in that figure 4 position that we were on our back, but in a tabletop position. Once you get there, if you can, take 2 or 3 cat-cows. So inhale, check. Awesome. Other side. So right leg's back now. Stretch the left leg long, tuck the toes. Lift the heel in line with the hip. Right arm forward, palm in, lift up in the belly, engage the core. Glute, left hamstring are really on. Right palm's facing in, reaching from under your armpit to lengthen the body. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach it long. Exhale, elbow to knee. Pull the belly up and in. Inhale, long. Exhale, center. 2 more. Inhale, long. Exhale, center. Inhale, long. Exhale, center. Place the right hand down. Slide the left foot in front of the right knee. You can always bring it further back. Once you get there, 3 cat-cows. Inhale, arch or round the back. Exhale, arch. Press up to the sky. Press through your hands. Inhale, shoulder blades together, gaze slightly forward. Exhale, chin to chest. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Awesome. Bring it forward and slide it back. Okay. From here, we're going to come off our wrists for a little bit, but we're going to strengthen our shoulders. Bring your forearms to the ground, elbows right underneath your shoulders. You can have your hands together or in an 11 shape. I like my hands together as more like a tripod. From here, relax your head so that you're gazing back towards your knees. Press down through your elbows so you're lifting through your shoulder joints and you're getting some weight and strength into the shoulders. Bring your left knee slightly into the center and then lift your right leg up. Knee is bent at a 90-degree angle. Create some hip circles with your breath. So continue to breathe. Circle out that right hip. Nice and slow. Continuing to press down through the elbows. Keeping the core nice and tight. Trying not to move too much through the pelvis here. Left glute is giving us some stability. Right glute is working and active as we circle out that hip joint. Go the other way. Just 5 more. So 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Other side. Right knee is down. Bring it a little bit into the center. That helps with your balance and keeping your hips nice and stable. Left knee stays bent. Bring it back. Circle it out. Breathe into your belly. Press down through your elbows. Try to really think about rotating in and out, internal and external rotation with that femur. 1 more that way. And then switch directions.
Really extend on the way up. And back to the center. Awesome. Come up to standing on your knees. I'm gonna face you guys we'll see. I'm gonna turn to the side actually first. Grab your blocks. Have them bring your right foot forward. Keep your top of your left foot on the ground. Right knee should be directly over the right ankle. Press through your hips to lightly come forward in front of your left knee and lift your arms up. Just hold, press down to the top of the left foot and squeeze the left glute. Try to keep lengthening through your tailbone so you're not dumping your hips forward and creating this tension in the low back. You're staying up and lengthening the tailbone down while moving the hips still in front of the left knee. Arms continue to reach up. Deep breaths. Good, and come back and switch it out. So right knee is down, left knee comes forward. Left foot's on the ground right underneath the left. Keep your core engaged. Inhale, lift up through the arms. Press down into the left foot. Imagine you're squeezing your left foot and your right knee together. So you feel this like buoyancy under you. Breathe into your belly. Low and slow breaths here. Good. Come back and stand on your knees. So we're going to go to the other side again. We're going to come a little deeper with the help of our blocks. So you can stay where we just were. Keep working that. Or if you want to go a little deeper, you can follow me. Deeper is not always better, just an option. Step your right foot forward. Top of the left foot is on the ground. This time we're going to come just a little further forward of our left knee with our hips. We're continuing to still lengthen the tailbone down, however, so not tipping the pelvis forward and shortening our low back, keeping length there and lengthening the tailbone to the ground. Bring your hands onto the blocks and just push into the blocks and press your chest forward. Press the top of the left foot into the ground, still pressing down to the right foot and imagining you're dragging your right foot back towards your left knee. Nice long spine, press down into those blocks. You want to feel a big stretch on the front of your left hip into that psoas. So make sure that left glute is on still. Good. Awesome. Walk your hips back and bring your right foot back. So hopefully you felt that in the front of that left hip on the other side. So left foot forward, top of the right foot on the ground. Press, this right leg stays really active, even though it's easy for it to feel really passive and like we're just kind of like falling into it. We want to keep it really engaged. So press down in the top of the right foot. Squeeze that right glute. Keep lengthening through the back of the tailbone. Hips come forward. Wiggle that front foot forward if you need some more space for your hips. Fingers can press into the blocks. Pull your shoulder blades back and pull your belly up and in. So I'm getting a huge sensation through this whole front of the right thigh, up into my belly. One more deep breath. Press the hips back and slide the left foot back. This next one's going to target the hamstrings, which we all know can really contribute to a lot of low back pain, but are also just kind of chronically tight for a lot of us. So hopefully this one will feel really nice. We have some options here. The blocks will be if you want to, again, venture a little bit deeper into the stretch, but always just an option. Straighten your right leg forward, flex your right toes. Pull your right hip back so it stays in line with your left hip. Nice long spine, hands on the hips. My right toes are pulling back. Here, I'll move that. Right toes are pulling back towards my face. I can either stay here and just work in this area and just feel these sensations in the body by just hinging forward at the hips and keeping my hands on the hips. So that's our first stop. If you'd like to try something else, bring your hands onto the blocks and continue to bring your belly towards your thigh. So you can see I'm not rounding my back to try to reach the blocks. I have a nice open chest, shoulders are back, belly's coming forward toward the thigh. So I'm getting a nice deep hip hinge and hip flexion here on my right side. Again, trying to keep the right hip in line with the left so you're not like askew in your pelvis. Press down, keep pulling the toes back towards the face, and just keep relaxed in your upper body. Nice long spine. Imagine you're dragging that right heel back towards you. Take one more deep breath. Good. Come up wherever you're at and slide the right foot back. So other side. Left foot forward. So usually when we bring it forward, that hip wants to come a little diagonal of the right hip. So just pull that left hip back so it stays even with the rest of your pelvis. Hands on your hips. Left toes are pulling back. Nice long spine. Hinge from your hips. And either stay there, breathing into the belly, or bring your hands onto the blocks. Continue to drag that left hip back. Hinge at your hip. Pull that femur up into the hip socket. Press down into your left heel. Drag it back towards your right knee. Get some length and some sensation in the back of the left leg there. One more deep breath. Keep the shoulder blades pulling back, the spine nice and long, and the belly pulling in. Good. Come up wherever you're at. Slide the left foot in. We'll move the blocks off to the side. One last thing in our lunge position here. Step your right foot forward. If you can this time, try to tuck the left toes underneath you. So you're in kind of a 90-degree angle in all the lower joints. Place your right hand on your right thigh. Squeeze your left glute a lot. Reach up with your left hand and then over to the right. So the right hand's on the right thigh for a little bit of extra balance and support. We're just trying to move from the spine again here. So hips are staying level and neutral. And we're laterally or side shoulder. Really reach actively through those left fingertips. Inhale, back up to the center, and we'll switch sides. So step your right foot back. If you can, tuck the right toes. Step the left foot forward. 90-degree angle on the front leg, 90-degree angle on the standing leg from that right arm. Reach up, exhale, tip over to the left. Keep the left hand pressing into the left thigh. Glutes are on, hips are neutral. Relax the left ear towards the left shoulder. Actively reach through those right fingers. So we want to feel a big stretch on this right side body. Inhale, come back up to the center. Hands down. We're going to step to standing from here. Bring your hands in front of your left foot and step your right foot forward. So you're in a little forward fold. Move your props out of the way. You can always have one block at the top of your mat.
if you need some assistance there with lengthening your hands to the floor. However, we're going to keep our knees pretty bent, so we should be good. So knees are nice and bent. We're in like a little happy forward fold. We should be getting some nice release in this back line of the fascia again. Clasp opposite elbows. Let your head relax. Just feel the weight of your head kind of stretching out the neck a little bit. My belly is resting on my thighs here because then my knees nice and bent. From here, we're going to press through our feet. Inhale, lift all the way up. Bring your hands up to the sky and lift up on your tiptoes. So press down through your feet. Come up onto your toes. So we'll do a couple just like that. It's almost like a squat jump, but more controlled and a little bit more for mobility than for like the plyo benefits. So let's go through a couple of those. So we're here in mountain pose, up on our toes. Exhale, bring your arms out to the side, bend your knees, hips back, plant your hands, relax your head. Press down through your feet, inhale, lift up, arms out to the side, reach up and up onto your toes. Heels down, hips back, belly to thighs, hands to the ground, relax the head. 3 more like that. Inhale, reach up on the toes, heels down, hips back, spine nice and long the whole time. Inhale, back up, mountain pose, bring the fingertips together, reach up, lift up onto the toes. Heels down, exhale all the way back down to the ground. Press down, last one. Lift all the way up and up onto the toes. So just real quick, if you'd like, if you're feeling like you want some extra energy, you totally can bring that into more of a squat jump type of thing. So just so you can see it, you can take it down, come up, and jump. Down, up, and jump. Okay, so if you want to do the class again, or if you want to pause it and do 5 to 10 of those, you can do that as well. We're going to move on, bring our feet nice and wide with our feet parallel, pointing forward. Squeeze your feet together so you feel, again, that buoyancy underneath you, like an upward energy and lift. Squeeze the glutes. From here, we'll take our hands on our hips, side lunge to the side. So we'll come into the left first. From here, we're going to hop into a one-legged Tadasana. So that's what this is what that will look like. Press and lift it up. So out, side lunge, press, and up. So that's totally going to happen, obviously. You're shifting your weight really quick. So just be nice and careful, but we're working on our balance, and our glutes have to do a lot of work to help us stabilize. So a side lunge, get a little stretch in that groin, press, catch your balance, and bring it up. Squeeze the glute on that standing leg. So 2 more like that. Out, squat, or side lunge, press it up, and knee up. Out, and side lunge, press it up, and up. Let's do 1 more, just so we really nail it in there. Get that into our brain. Up, and up. Good. Other side. So bend into the right knee, hip goes back. So I'm going to turn to the side real quick. You want to make sure you're really sending your hip back. You're not going super far forward with your knee, and your spine stays long. So bend into the right knee, push up, bring the right knee up. Squeeze the left glute. Out, bend it, hips back, press,
and up. Good, you can tell this is definitely my better side. We usually all have one side that's better than the other. Good. Last two, hips back, press, and up. Hold it, out, back, press, and up. Nice job. Legs nice and wide again. If you want, you can grab your block for this next one. So I'll bring it in front just in case you'd like that. Bring your hips straight back, nice long spine, hand to the earth or to a block. Right hand is down first. Inhale, lift the left arm to the sky, twist through your ribs, keep your hips neutral. Exhale, reach the left arm underneath and tap your right shoulder. So just 5 of those. Inhale, twist and reach. Exhale, thread it through, tap the right shoulder. Inhale up, nice and long. Exhale, underneath and tap. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, under and tap. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale, under and tap. Other side, left hand down, right underneath the shoulder. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, thread it through, tap the left shoulder. Inhale up. Exhale, turn and tap. Inhale, rotate, lift it up. Exhale, twist, reach, and tap. Last 2. Inhale up. Exhale, reach and tap. Inhale up. Exhale, reach and tap. Good. Bend the knees. Come up nice and slow. All right, move the block off to the side. This last little stretch we're going to do here is really going to help work on stretching this TFL again, which again can really, we have one on each side, so if one is tighter, it can mess with the position of our hips. It can also pull on our T-band and just cause some general tightness in the back and hips as well. So what we're going to do is just kind of get that to stretch and lengthen a little bit, hopefully. So you can do this with your hands on the wall or your hands on the hips. I like hands on the wall, but for sake of the video, I'm going to do it hands on hips. If you're doing it at the wall, just have your hands out in front of you with your palms on the wall like that. Bring your feet together about hip width distance apart, hands are on your hips. Step your right foot back, not super far, just about maybe, 3 or 4 of your feet lengths back. Externally rotate again from the hip. So turn the toes out, heel in. Right leg, some external rotation, and then you're adducting the leg to be behind the left. And then just push your hips forward and pull your belly up and in. So if your leg's in the right position and your hips are square, you should really feel some pull over here. So let's take 3 deep breaths there. Keep pressing down and back through that right foot and forward with the left foot and pushing the hips forward. Good. One more breath. Good. All right, other side. So you can maybe even feel that. It's kind of like an intense feeling of sensation when you let that leg go. Right foot's forward. So from your hips, extend the left foot back and step it back. Toes out, heel in, so you're externally rotating from the femur. So hips are still pointed forward. Then bring it over behind the right foot. Hips stay square. You can always kind of wiggle into it. It's a little bit of an adjustment. Push back and down through the left foot. Squeeze the left glute. Drive the hips forward. And just bend into that right knee. Deep breaths into your belly.
this time, as we're here, we're gonna hold this and we're gonna take a little upper body stretch, okay? So bring your knuckles together, make fists, and bring this flat portion of your fingers together, like this. Then point it in towards your chest, elbows are forward, and then push your elbows forward, push your chest, your upper back, and chin in towards your chest. Good. All right. Inhale, come up. Step forward. Feel free to shake that out if you need to. Come back down to your mat. On your, sit down on your bottom. So this next pose you can either do away from the wall or on the wall. I think the wall helps the most if you're pretty tight in your hips here. So what it'll look like, you'll just sit with your spine against the wall and then feet together, knees wide. And you want to use the wall to help you try to keep your spine nice and tight, tall, and pull your feet in as close as you can with allowing the wall to support your back. So you can either stay here or you can kind of push out and down nice and gently on your knees so you feel a nice stretch on the inner thighs. If you want and you feel like it's okay on your hips, relax your head. Breathe deeply into your belly. You can use your elbows to kind of gently press out and down on your legs. One more deep breath. And then inhale, come up nice and slow. Straighten one leg forward at a time. You can kind of point through them, do a little stretch real quick if you want, and then come back onto your mat and lay down on your back. Bring your right knee in towards you. Place your left hand on the outside of your right knee. Pull your right knee across your body and keep your right shoulder and your left shoulder on the ground. Right arm can be in a cactus shape or long on the ground beside you. Try to keep your upper back rooted into the earth. If you want, you can gaze away from your knee for a little extra twist, but only if that feels good. If you want even more here, just as an option, you can bend your left knee a little, bring your knees up and in, and then straighten your right leg out and grab your toes on your right foot with your left hand. Take one more deep breath. Good. Bend the knee. Come back to the center, and we'll take the other side. So legs long to start. Left knee comes in. Right hand on the outside of your left knee. Draw it over to the right. Keep that left shoulder on the ground. Right leg can stay long to start. Option to gaze away from your knee if you think that might feel good. If you want to try a different sensation, bring both knees up and in, and then you can straighten that left, my wall's in the way, but you can straighten the left leg out and grab a hold of those toes. It's going to put the bias of the rotation just a little higher up on your spine, which can feel really nice, as that area is often a bit more stuck than our low back. Take one more deep breath. Bring both knees back into the center. Place your feet wide on the edges of your mat and let your knees knock into the center. I like to rest both hands on my low belly here
and just relax into the mat. Deepen your breath into your belly. We'll take some just small movements here. So just allow your legs to fall over to the left. Squeeze that right glute and just kind of press the right hip gently forward. Inhale, come back to the center, and then over to the right. And same thing. So kind of push into that left inner edge of your left foot, and squeeze the left glute, and just kind of lengthen through the front of the thigh and the low back here. So you should feel just a little bit more length. So you're not like sinking into the hip. You're kind of lifting up and getting some length there. Good. Back to the center if you want. One last time, just pull your knees in toward your chest. Press your low back into the ground. Give yourself a squeeze. And then one leg at a time, straighten your legs out into Shavasana. If you'd like, if you still have your bolster nearby, this is a great time. You can use a blanket and roll it up and place it under your low back here, the curvature, natural curvature down into the hips. So just tuck one shoulder blade and then the other, palms up, and allow the feet to fall out to the sides. Breathe into the belly. Relax all the muscles in your face. Allow any last tension in the body to melt away. Shift your focus inwards to your breath, to your body, being present with your body, being present on the mat, being in your residual energy in your cells, any pumping of the blood, beating of your heart, oxygenation of your body through your breath. Feeling just a sense of balance and harmony in the body. Feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. You can pause the video or allow the video to end and stay here for several more minutes if you'd like and you have the time. I would definitely encourage it. Continuing to breathe really deeply into your body. We're just gonna go ahead, take a last couple breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Slowly bring some movement back to our bodies. Reach your arms straight back behind you. Stretch from your fingers to your toes. Roll onto one side using your arm as a pillow. Staying here for just a moment, feeling the sweetness of this pose, just a new beginning. Hopefully we feel some new life in our body and in our breath, some new energy to finish out our day. Press your hands into the ground. Slowly come back up to a seat. Sit with your neck in a comfortable seated position.
whatever that looks like for you. Bring your hands to your heart. Take one last moment of silence here. Maybe say a word of gratitude, a prayer, a chant, a mantra, set an intention, anything that would be uplifting or feel like you're really rounding out your practice. Thank you so much for joining me for class. My hope is that this class allows you to feel freer in your body and a little bit more fluid through the spine and more energetic for your day. Thank you so much. Namaste.